Good afternoon, I'm Katie McCoy.
And I'm Melanie Walleser.
Welcome to our final broadcast of Update News this semester. Coming up this afternoon, finals week is next week and students are finding ways to de-stress.
But first, many UWEC students are affected by Homeless Week.
Students at UW-Eau Claire juggle more than just finals at the end of the semester. For many, the week after finals is known as Homeless Week. Bridget Kelley has the story.
April showers bring May flowers, but May brings the end of leases in Eau Claire. And as leasing periods end a week or more before the next one starts, many people in student housing find themselves without a home. Over 6,500 UW-Eau Claire students live off campus, and unless students are re-signing their leases, they may find themselves in a tough spot. Many leases end in the third week of May, leaving many students unhoused. This is known on campus as Homeless Week.
So I first learned about Homeless Week in Eau Claire right before my freshman year started. We had like a little thing called Freshman Connection that was almost like a camp, and we went and we were like asking the upperclassmen questions, and somebody was like, hey, I heard about a thing called Homeless Week, and they kind of explained it, and we were all like, oh.
Landlords explain that the week between leases is necessary to do maintenance and cleanings and to tend to the wear and tear brought on by student tenants. And while both Student Senate and the Eau Claire City Council have looked into ways to alleviate the stress of Homeless Week, Wisconsin state legislation prohibits certain restrictions on landlords, including ordinances restricting the leasing period. Students moving into housing in June likely signed leases at the beginning of the previous fall semester. Tenants in the 3rd Ward and downtown have been signing leases months in advance in order to ensure housing.
This year I'm in a show in Eau Claire, so I can't go home for that week. And so it's kind of been a little hectic trying to find somewhere that I can stay and, have to move all of my stuff, not once, but twice, because, I have to move it out of my dorm and then into my new house once we have that. So yeah, it's been a little stressful.
Eau Claire Housing and Residence Life is offering short and long-term summer housing, with rates starting at $17 a day. While students may not be able to fit an apartment's worth of belongings into a Towers Hall dorm room, this will help students avoid sleeping in their cars. Students can apply for summer housing in the UWEC housing portal. Reporting for Update News, I'm Bridget Kelley.
Students are encouraged to reach out to Housing and Residence Life as well as their student senators if they need housing assistance.
15 graduating Bachelor of Fine Arts students have put together their final art displays as students at UWEC. The Foster Gallery's final exhibition of the year, Art Actually, features the capstone projects. The gallery, located in Haas Fine Arts Center, is free and open to the public, so come enjoy a variety of mediums and styles in the senior exhibition. The Foster Gallery hours and any updates can be found on their Facebook page, UW-Eau Claire Foster Gallery. The Art Actually show closes May 15th, so this weekend is your last chance to take a look at the graduating seniors' work.
Coming up after the break, an on-campus poetry reading showcased Robert Frost's work.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. I dare you to be somebody important. Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star. I dare you to stand up here. To call the shots. To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you. Have a career that really means something? Then do it. I dare you.
Welcome back to Update News.
Thanks for staying with us. This past Tuesday, UWEC hosted the Robert Frost Celebration of American Poetry outside of the McIntyre Library from 4 to 7 p.m.
Hosted in the outdoor Chippewa Lounge, students and community members gathered to hear others read poetry of their own or poetry from the collection of Robert Frost.
And he was a writer, a poet, and among his favorite authors was Robert Frost.
Former Eau Claire English professor and current poet Max Garland showcased a self-written poem expressing Eau Claire's natural beauty, mainly focusing on the two rivers surrounding our environment.
In spite of all the things we say about this town, you know, it has music, it has beauty and all of the, and it's really, it's this environment, it's the natural environment that we all depend upon.
The event was sponsored by the UW-Eau Claire Foundation, various on-campus departments, as well as the Alumni Association.
The identity of poetry is that it is oftentimes occasional.
We are inundated with words and babble and noise. It's all ephemeral. It's all to be used and discarded.
The event concluded with light jazz, refreshments, and button making. Visitors stuck around for viewing of Frost's 44 first or rare editions on display on the first floor of the library.
Sometimes we need language that lasts, language that comes from deeper in the heart. That's what poetry is, and that's what I hope people remember.
For further research on the Robert Frost collection, check out the special collections in the archival sections in the McIntyre Library. For Update News, I'm Anna Smith.
Be sure to pop into the McIntyre Library to check out those Robert Frost resources.
Here's Update News' Ellie Pomerleau with the latest.
Thank you, Katie. Talk about a heat wave. We've had some crazy weather this week, from storms to 90-degree heat. For those of you that got to go to the beach yesterday, you may want to head there today. Let's check out today's forecasts. Today we are seeing a high of 80 degrees with a low in the 60s. It's partly cloudy out today, but that sun is not being shy, so it may be a good time to put on some sunblock or wear a hat. Tonight it will remain overcast, so you might miss that sunset. Jumping to Saturday, the heat wave continues to roll in. We will see a high of about 82 degrees. It will be partly cloudy again, but I'm sure we'll be getting plenty of sunshine. Tomorrow will be a great day to do an activity that will cool you down. Moving on to Sunday, those of you without AC will catch a little break. We will see a high of around 70 degrees and lows in the 50s. Overall, it is looking to be a beautiful weekend, so make sure to take a study break and get outside. The summer-like weather we are seeing this weekend will look more like spring weather next week, as temperatures cool down a bit. Monday, we are going to see a high of 65 degrees with lows in the 40s. Tuesday is similar, a high of 66. It's also going to be partly cloudy with these lower temps. Wednesday, we will see a high of 68, and we may get some light rain throughout the day. The highest chance of rain will be 40%. Thursday, we start to see things warm up again with a high of 76. It is going to be overcast throughout the day, but remember that the sun will still be strong. Friday is looking to be similar to Thursday with a high of 73 and overcast skies. Even though finals week is just around the corner, try to get outside this weekend and enjoy the summer weather. For those of you who feel like you're melting, don't worry, because we are going to see that extreme heat simmer down. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about the warm weather this weekend. I'm going to try to get out to the beach, so it'll be good.
Yes, me too. I've been going on lots of walks with my roommates. It's been super nice to just get outside, and instead of going to the gym, I just get to go outside and do my workouts. That's been really nice.
That sounds lovely. My plan is to buy an AC unit for my apartment.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
no,
no,
I'm in the same boat. We don't have air conditioning, so that box fan in the windowsill is what's going to get me through.
Yes. Well, thank you, Ellie.
Yeah.
Coming up after the break, students find peace through outdoor yoga.
And UWC softball heads to the NCAA tournament.
Stay tuned. You're watching Update News.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. I dare you to be somebody important. Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star. I dare you to stand up here. To call the shots. To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you. Have a career that really means something? Then do it. I dare you.
Welcome back to Update News.
Thanks for sticking with us.
With finals week right around the corner, some faculty and students are using yoga as a way to de-stress and refocus their minds. Michael Koehler has more on the story.
Finals week is approaching, and today I'm here at the McIntyre Library where a yoga class is held every Thursday. If you're looking for a way to de-stress next week during this busy time, come check out their class.
Yoga may not be everyone's first idea when thinking of ways to de-stress from finals, but it is an option offered to all students and staff at UWEC. Yoga is an excellent way to maximize a person's health, especially during stressful times when people are just looking for a way to clear their minds.
I think it's a really good stress reliever, and also just like taking time for yourself. Like everyone has so much going on in college, and so just taking that 1 hour where you're like forced to just settle down and relax for a little bit.
This class is intended to be used as a midday break for people looking for an alternative way to spend their lunch and just be a part of something together.
It's a good way to bring students down to lower campus and have that sort of accessible avenue for students who want to do something on their lunch break.
UWEC has been holding a yoga class for students and faculty every Thursday from 11:30 to 12:15 in the breezeway on the second floor of the library all semester long. Join them for their final instruction on May 19th.
If you missed out on being a part of yoga this semester, don't worry, as it'll be back next year. Reporting for Update News, I'm Michael Koehler.
Students and faculty can check out McIntyre Library or the UWEC webpage for more information on de-stress events like yoga.
With the spring season winding down with this semester, let's get one last look at UWEC sports with Justin Narveson.
Thank you, Katie. With this being the last show of the semester and year, I want to do a little recap of all the big moments for UWEC sports. But first, let's take a look at what happened this past weekend with track and field. The men's and women's teams both competed in the WIAC championship, with the men finishing in third in total team, and the women also finishing in third. Both teams are waiting to see if they got the bid to participate in the NCAA championships, with the men looking to defend their indoor title that they won previously in the semester. The baseball team finished up their season with a busy weekend with 3 doubleheaders. The first 2 doubleheaders were against the Lacrosse Eagles on Friday and Saturday. The Blue Gold split both doubleheaders with a good start, beating the Eagles 9-6 in Game 1 with 6 home runs as the bats were hot. In Game 2, the Eagles had the upper hand, hitting 4 home runs and responding to the Blue Gold bats, eventually winning the game 14-7. On Saturday, the bats seemed to cool off as only 1 home run was hit between the teams, but Lacrosse had the better offense, scoring 10 runs and taking Game 1 10-5. But the Blue Golds had fight left in them to split the series. The Blue Golds kept it close, answering any breakaway attempt by the Eagles offense going into the 8th inning. The Blue Golds were down 3 runs, needing 4 to win. They were able to get 2 runs in the 8th, now down 1 in the 9th. The Blue Golds tied it up on a wild pitch, only needing a sacrifice fly to win the game. They got just that and took Game 4 of the series, finishing their conference play at 8-20 and finishing second to last in the WIAC. On Sunday, they finished up the season with 2 7-inning doubleheaders against the Hamlin Pipers. Game 1 went to the Pipers with an offensive explosion, scoring 16 runs and winning 16-6. After a rough start from the pitching in Game 1, the Blue Golds found a gem from freshman pitcher Nico Smith, only allowing 3 runs in the complete game. The Blue Golds won the season finale 6-3. The team finished 14-26, improving massively from last year and taking the next step against WIAC competition. Congrats to the team on a great year. The softball team won the WIAC championship on Sunday. Included in the championship is the WIAC's automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Here's what head coach Leslie Huntington and junior outfielder Haley Lamberson had to say about the season and playing in the tournament.
We had extremely high hopes. Every year we expect to win. So I'm just excited that we have been able to put it together to give these players the opportunity and the experience to win a conference tournament championship and now play in the NCAA tournament. We have players from last year's team that have really grown and matured and improved, and especially our pitching staff. And conference play prepares us for the NCAA tournament, and that's, whoever makes it out of our conference, they're more prepared because of how tough our conference is.
We have the motto of one pitch at a time, so continuing to just drive that into the ground, and like we've always said, the game doesn't know. We're starting to click at the right times, and it's been a really good journey so far, and hopefully this weekend we can continue to do the dance.
The team takes on Trine at 3:30 today in about 15 minutes and look to make a run in the NCAA tournament, and as Lamberson said, keep dancing. Now to look back on the entire year for sports, starting with the teams that made the national tournaments. These include women's hockey, women's basketball, who also hosted the first 2 rounds, and now including the softball team. And now on to the national champions, which started with women's volleyball and the men's indoor track and field team, as mentioned earlier. Congratulations to all of the teams for great seasons, and hopefully continue to grow next year. That is everything for sports for the final time. Back to you, Katie and Mel.
Thank you, Justin. Coming up next, we look at how Blue Golds are preparing for finals week.
We'll be right back.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education. I dare you to be somebody important. Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star. I dare you to stand up here. To call the shots. To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you. Have a career that really means something? Then do it. I dare you.
Welcome back to Update News.
Thanks for staying with us.
Finals week is quickly approaching with the first day on Monday of next week. John Franklin has more on the story.
The flowers are blooming, the birds are chirping, and the sun is out. For most people, it's the first week of spring, but for students, it's finals week.
Well, if you think about it, it's kind of the pinnacle of the whole semester, right? You're working on all these projects. There's so much everything is kind of done that week. So to have to study for numerous exams, finish projects, there's the academic stress that's increased during that time. But then if you add onto that also like saying goodbye to your friends for a while, if you're going home for the summer, or if you're graduating, kind of next steps, there's other emotional stress just related to the kind of the closure of the semester, and if people are moving back in with their parents, kind of thinking about that, or if you're trying to find work, all those other things, just kind of figuring out what's next at the same time as trying to finish everything that's going on here.
Counseling Services also provides drop-in appointments for students who are particularly stressed about finals. The university has been putting on events for students to de-stress at, including stress ball and heat pack making at the library, therapy dogs, a nature walk, outdoor yoga, and a movie night. With finals week comes many concerns for students from a counseling standpoint.
Well, throughout the semester, like anxiety, stress, and depression have for many years been our top 3 presenting concerns. And then procrastination is usually in the number 4 or 5. It kind of fluctuates.
One of the top recommendations for managing stress is to get outside and get some exercise. Reporting for Update News, I'm John Franklin.
If you are having trouble over finals week, don't be afraid to contact Counseling Services at COUNSL01@uwec.edu.
With finals week comes Move Out, and the UWEC Student Office of Sustainability is helping students get rid of excess furniture with the environment in mind. The annual Pack It Up, Pass It On event will take place next Thursday and Friday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Water Street parking lot. Students are able to drop off mattresses, futons, desks, bed frames, and any other furniture or household items, and from there, items will either be donated or disposed of. Student IDs are required to drop off items. For students living on campus, give and take tents have been placed around upper campus. Students can drop off items they do not want and pick up items that they need. Anything left at these tents will be disposed of by housing.
That's all we have for you today and for the semester.
Thanks for sticking with us for all this time. Until next time, I'm Katie McCoy.
And I'm Melanie Walleser.
Thank you for staying updated.
It isn't so much the goal itself that's important, it's the journey towards getting to the goal.
The rainy weather did not slow down or stop any of our runners in the Eau Claire Marathon this weekend. Is that a good intro?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
One of the best parts about Culture Fest is there's events on every floor.
What is your name?
Everly.
Are you excited to be at the planetarium?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Seeing the space shuttle.
Translation.